first. Well, how about that Democrat convention, hey? And how about that speech by Kamala Harris? I mean, look, it was an absolute stem-winder, and credit where credit is due. For a woman who used to gibber on about coconut trees and school buses, it was a pretty good show. The only thing is that for anyone with a memory longer than a goldfish, well, it was also pretty unbelievable. I mean, I know conventions are there to put on a show and for a party to prove to the wider electorate that their candidate is a safe pair of hands. But honestly, listening to Kamala Harris, well, it was all just a little bit much. I mean, let's think about this here. The side of politics that wants to meddle in everything in your life, from the flow of your shower head to the car in your driveway, well, I mean, they're talking about freedom now? Seriously. The side of politics that has made the school curriculum an endless litany about the horrors committed by the dead white men who founded America, well, now they're suddenly wrapping themselves in the flag? The side of politics that has put up Tim Walz, or Weird Waltz as I like to call him, who has been caught out embellishing his military record, well, and now they're all pro-defense? As I say, it's all a little bit much. And there was more, too. And I wonder what the fact-checkers are going to say about this. You know, I listened to Kamala Harris's speech, and she started talking about Project 2025, which you've heard a lot about, I'm sure, claiming that it was written by Donald Trump's closest advisors. Well, no, it's not true. It was written by a think tank with no ties to the Trump campaign. And again, the idea that Donald Trump is some sort of wild social conservative on abortion when he has declined to endorse a national abortion ban is nuts. Just as is the way you can tie Donald Trump to Project 2025, but Kamala Harris is allowed to skate on every lunatic far-left idea of the furthest left progressive wing of the Democrats. Well, you can see the difference. But to continue with Harris's speech, she made claims about January 6th. I mean, I forget how many race riots and Antifa mobs the Democrats have stoked, but put that aside, Trump, on January 6th, actually tweeted at his supporters at the Capitol, telling them to go home with love and in peace. Again, another lie. Kamala Harris claimed that cutting the federal Department of Education would take money away from schools, when in America, that's not the Department of Education's job. The feds don't give the money out. That's the role of local governments funded by local property taxes. Again, another lie. Now, it gets worse. Kamala Harris said that her experience as a prosecutor has taught her the importance of safety and security at the border, when in fact, as vice president, she presided over the biggest influx of illegal migrants in American history. Migrants who, by the way, would be given amnesty and a pathway to citizenship under legislation endorsed by the Democrat platform. How's that border czar job going, Mrs. Harris? Oh, and back to the whole Trump dictator thing, she said. Well, anyone who saw that clip of Trump knew that he was making a joke. Not that, of course, you'd associate humor with the Democrats. Again, Kamala Harris's convention speech was an artful mosaic of lies, beautifully and sweetly delivered, but in the end, still lies. If voters fall for it, well, what do you say? When Kamala lies, democracy dies.